We're good.
Oh, we're going.
Okay, so
Okay.
chat, you are going to have to let me know if it is too quiet, too loud, or what's up, and I will adjust settings as necessary. For those that don't know, I'm TJ, and my partner over here is Outlaw. Slightly too
Hello.
quiet. Okay. The both of us used to run this game RTA quite a while ago, but we don't really do anything with it anymore outside of like I TAS once in a while. The
And
Outlaw.
I occasionally get a PB once in a century.
Yep. Oh man, lots of people are showing up. Hey Tudos, hey Doughboy, hey Romulus, hey ZK, I assume. Hey Disgusting, hey Ringrush, hey Znernicus, hey Scion. It is not Ace, hey Emo. It is
Morning,
a
Emo.
very arbitrary category. And I'm not going to unveil what it is yet. I'll give you guys the first, say, 3 minutes to figure it out. Hey, iCup. Hey, Speedfrog. Just don't be a late April Fool's joke. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. There's nothing to feel.
I don't generally do any sorts of jokes on April Fools. I just do arbitrary categories. Hey, JG. Hey, Flamingosaurus? Flamingosaurus, maybe? It is not Chunky's dead percent.
It's going to be greater than 30 minutes.
Yeah, this will definitely be greater than 30 minutes. There will also be time for you to go to the bathroom or whatever during the run, so don't worry about that. Or like, you know, get up, get a snack or something. Yeah, so I haven't really talked about it yet, but right now we are currently under ISG. If anyone doesn't know what that means, that just means that I have intro story running in the background. For now, it's not really going to matter too much, but it will very, very soon. It's not all minigames.
That would be a nightmare.
I would not want to TAS all minigames.
Well, you're getting warm, Ringrush.
Yeah, Ringrush is definitely getting closer.
Waifu World Tour.
Come on, not even I am that degenerate. Getting very close here. I think this'll help you figure out what exactly we're doing.
Oh. There it is.
Yep, I think it's
Ringrush
time.
had it.
Ringrush, you are correct. This is Pokemon Snap, but DK64. We are taking pictures of every enemy, playable character, and friendly character in the game. I am excluding things like textures and cutscene objects, but outside of that, enjoy the ride.
Yes.
I want you to do everything in your power to keep Donkey Kong distracted. Steal that hold of golden.
I knew someone was gonna bring up that you were close. So, I needed ISG in order to get intro story credits, because fading into intro story from the end sequence in the DK Theater menu allows you to use the camera, gun, oranges, stuff like that, but you can't use control stick or the A button. but that does allow me to take a picture of K. Rool, who otherwise is only available in-game through two other methods. One, in the battle arena at the very end of the game, which you can't take pictures in, and two, in Fake Helm. But doing Fake Helm would have taken longer. Additionally, I have to go into end sequence. Also have to go into end sequence here because you can't take pictures of Candy or Fungi regularly in the game. This is the only way that I currently know how to go and do it. Also, if you notice, the credits on the sides are pretty messed up. Like,
what about the one in DK's house?
One in DK's house? I try to go for live pictures wherever possible. So like,
so no portraits will be taken.
Yeah, I won't be taking pictures of pictures, but I will be taking pictures of a couple of other things that are not live.
Yeah, there's no plagiarism in this speedrun.
That's a good way to put it. Also, right at the bottom there, you're going to see that come up quite, well, a few times. And what that is going to signify is there was no way to take a picture of that thing regularly in the game, so I did have to hack in fairy camera a couple times. Too high quality of an effect. I am assuming that that's sarcasm, because that was a stock effect from Windows Live Movie Maker. Doesn't manage the 20-year-old game. Come on!
Hey, we had to be a little flashy to draw attention.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to draw attention to the bottom of the screen there, just so that people would, you know, read the thing that I added. Plus, the problem with just adding text is that white text is going to be non-viewable when you take the picture, and other colors of text might just blend in with the background, so it wasn't really an easy decision to make. So, kinda just went with a slightly transparent black background instead. Yes, this is clearly not going to be optimized to the level of Ring Rush's any percent TAS. Please don't expect it to be. I don't have that long to waste on something like this, though I wish I did.
Are you saying Ring Rush wasted his time?
No, I am saying that it would have been more time for me to drop on a meme than I had access to. I think if Ring Rush wants to be a degenerate, we can call him a degenerate, but I don't think he's a degenerate otherwise.
I think he's calling you out, Ring Rush.
No, I suppose you didn't, did you? That's a good way of putting it, TSP. Oh, I didn't comment on it, but most people probably know that the Vine Barrel, if you go and Void Out in Vine Barrel, it goes to DK's house normally. But if you notice, I ended up in Isles after the Void Out, and that was because I had already done the first time escape cutscene. And when you do that, you are sent to Isles instead of DK's house. I did not warp to the end credits. All I did was I activated the credits from the main menu.
Yeah, if we found a way to warp to the credits, this would be a completely different stream.
Oh, absolutely. Best TAS of all time. Well, we'll see about that.
It's pretty great so far.
It is pretty great so far, I agree. But I'm also biased.
It also, like, watching this TAS shows me that you could take up a career in photography, because look at those headshots, dude. Yes,
Well,
it is outlaw. Hello.
It
Hello,
is
evil.
indeed outlaw. Yeah, unfortunately, emulator has really, really bad photo taking time.
Nice speed, frog. I love you too.
Some of the pictures will be slightly less high quality than others. Like the claptrap one that I just took, for example. It's hard to get a good picture of claptraps because generally they're just going to chase you around, so you're never going to get a good picture that isn't frontal. Sometimes you can, like, I guess you could bait them out to the edge of their aggro circle and maybe get a good picture like that.
That would be suboptimal, though.
I don't know if it would be, well, okay. In terms of speed,
We're going for speed, not quality.
Same
We
creature
take quality
bonus
where
and
you can
tinies.
get it.
This is true. I tried not to make too many speed, what would you even call it? Like, it's a trade-off, but what would be on the other end? It's like speed and high-quality pictures, I guess? Picture quality? Speed, picture quality trade-off? Yeah, I guess. Can we get some scores on these picks? I mean, isn't that what you guys are all for?
Yeah, each picture that happens, chat, put a number between 1 and 10
Oh my god.
as a rating.
Okay, is 1 the best or is 10 the best? You have to tell them.
I'll leave it up to them.
Oh boy. I've been on a stump, right? I did manage to pick up the barrel here in between shots. That is ridiculously tight timing. But it is possible. And yes, that was key 5, like Adam just said in the chat. Normally, I'm sure most people know about this at this point. Normally you get key 2 from that boss, but by killing him a specific way, you can actually get key 5 instead. Hey Static G, morning. I wouldn't say that I do still stream.
Yeah. Stream's not actually happening, April Fools.
Hey MCAT. Do you think Ace will be possible with help from OOT like in Paper Mario? That's not something that I really know much about. I've watched the run, you know, for Paper Mario OOT, but I don't know near enough about how this game operates in order to say yes or no definitively. You'd probably have a better time asking someone like ISO, Balam, Ringrush, maybe? Another thing that people are probably well aware of is there's no easy way to get to Castle early outside of getting Key 5, which is why I picked it up earlier. Has this been console verified? Are you kidding? You know the answer to that, Ring Rush.
Ring Rush, you need to stop asking these questions.
Hey, 8-bit. Thank you for the luck. Hopefully my commentary does not suck too badly.
Oh, you're doing fine.
Thank you, as are you.
It does if you hold the power of verification static.
So right here, you're probably well acquainted with this effect. When the screen goes black and white, it's just to show that otherwise you would not be able to see what's going on. This is currently a camera hack. And without it, you would only see a black screen and the question marks and DK in the tag barrel. Nothing else. Hey, Sea Fox.
I'd call that a 9.
Yeah? I mean, the photo was squished because of the cutscene. Film locations are super crucial. It was interesting attempting to route in film. Not something that we normally have to do.
It's a good thing that you already planned for all film.
I mean, a little bit. I had preliminarily thought of it.
That was you and Glorious that, like, started that idea.
We've talked about it on more than a couple occasions, yeah. But I don't think we've ever actually routed it. If we have, I don't remember.
I'll have to talk to you after stream. So
Okay.
I have a great idea.
Ooh, okay, I'm down. I like great ideas. I also like bad ideas. Yeah, nice portal hitbox indeed. That portal just isn't active for a little while. You don't call them fall through vertical walls anymore. Thank you, Adam. You're doing good work. You have a good point, Sea Fox. You think tassing it is bad. You don't know how bad it can really be. Like desyncs, for example. That's true, Znern. My only argument for actually taking a picture of cutout here is it can inflict damage. I realize that that's kind of a flimsy argument, just like cardboard.
Shouldn't you have taken a picture of the laser then?
Well, the laser's not sentient.
Yeah, but it's inflicting damage.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It was tough to decide what I should or shouldn't take pictures of. And it kind of boiled down to using Balam's database on GitHub and filtering for anything that was named a character that also had eyeballs. I realize how kind of arbitrary that is, but I didn't know what else to say.
I mean, you're saying that's arbitrary, but look at us.
Hmm. Pretty consistent way to avoid desyncs? Ooh. Yeah, I am definitely down for hearing about that, Ring Rush. Because I encountered a lot. I probably lost like 5 hours worth of progress because of desyncs. I was shooting into nothingness so that I could force the next character to come out of the tag barrel. What I just did there was I rescued the Kongs through cutout. You aren't normally expected to get here without saving the Kongs, but if you do happen to, you can just get the Kongs from the fight, leave the fight, and then go into the tag barrel, and that just unlocks them as if you had saved them regularly. Oh, the car race.
Yeah, this is a good part.
There are a couple places that you can take pictures of the car, go figure, both car races. And I decided to go for Castle because it had this option. The one in Factory, you would have to do something a little different. Not that it was impossible, but I enjoy this one. By hitting restart at the very beginning of the race and holding B on the fade out, you can charge a shockwave. And by holding that shockwave until the race begins, you can then release it and you gain control of Tiny. I feel like Ring Rush is going a little bit above 10.
He's Professor Oak right now.
True.
He's doing the snap rating system.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Oh, speaking of, I treated the characters, enemies, whatever you want to call them, just like Pokemon Snap would. So for example, Squawks and Squawks with a Spotlight are the same entity as far as I was concerned. It's the same thing as like Pikachu and Pikachu on a surfboard. Hopefully that's understandable. That's true, you do lose out on bonus points without the spotlight. But I also couldn't take a good picture of the Squawks with a spotlight because of how he hovers above you. You only get like the white of his eyes instead of the pupils, and I didn't think that was a very good thing to get.
It's terrifying, if anything.
So I considered King K. Rool's toes for all of 3 seconds, and during that time I was like, do I really want to get keys 3 and 8? And the answer to that was no. Therefore, his toes are definitely part of K. Rool.
Yeah. If his toes had eyes, that'd be a different story.
True, toes don't have eyes. They can damage you, but it's also K. Rool. Touching K. Rool can damage you, so wouldn't you think that his toes can also damage you by touching them? K. Rool audience. No, that's a texture as far as I'm aware. If you can prove me wrong, though, then, yeah.
And again, the texture also does not have eyes.
Does it? Or does it not?
I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure it's just like cut out people.
Huh.
Without eyes and blank faces.
The skull can't damage you! Well, that one can't.
The skull does not have eyes, it has eye sockets.
Well, you know, that skull can't damage you. This one, though. The Kasplats will be one character because of, I had a really good argument for this. it had something to do with how you can go and steal blueprints from other Kongs using TBS, and blueprints are all essentially the same. It was something like that, and I don't remember it now. But basically, I treat all Kasplats as Kasplat and nothing else.
Yeah, this TAS is Donkey Kong Snap.
Yeah. So, Kroos, I imagine you missed the initial bit. This TAS is Donkey Kong 64, but played as if it were Pokemon Snap. I am taking pictures of every enemy, playable character, and NPC in the game. Already having trouble remembering.
It's okay.
I do actually use a Pester Orange later. You are more than welcome to guess what I use it on, if you want. K-Rool's ship and DK Isles are not sentient. Wow, that was quick. Okay, I use more than one actually. But you are correct about Kosha. I do use it on a Kosha. Wrinkly Kong?
Asked a question.
I will be taking a picture of Wrinkly Kong.
Have no fear, for I was here.
I'll explain that part when we get there for sure. Does Professor Oak give more points if Kosha's batting? Almost definitely, yeah. I tried to get things in signature animations if they existed. Not all things have like a really, really good animation to take a picture of. And even then, some of the signature ones just aren't really good. Like, for example, if you try and take a picture of one of those robots lunging at you, you're never going to get a good picture out of it just because they have to be point blank, and you're going to miss their face because of it.
You're gonna have to go back and do that picture. You got next.
Yeah. There's nothing I could do about the X there other than take the picture of the fairy beforehand. Oh, this is interesting, if you haven't seen that before. You can get TBS, and tag, and grab a pole. And what that does is it warps you to the origin, 0x and 0z. But it maintains your height as long as the origin would be out of bounds. So what happened there was it just teleported me all the way from R&D to pretty close to Cranky and Candy. And this will be where I make the last few purchases. I think you have like a minute and a half, 2 minutes if you need to like get up and grab something at this point.
Yeah. Now we're just buying moves.
We don't have too many moves to buy. Like, we already bought all of Tiny's stuff, and Lanky doesn't get anything, and Diddy gets Rocket Barrel and Guitar, I think?
Judas, the potions don't have eyes. I feel like I'm a professor in Anatomy 101%. I'll see myself out.
I think you're fine. I wanted to do a really funny splice here, but I didn't. I can show it afterwards if you guys are down to see it.
Oh, Ring Rush.
Did I take a picture of Cranky yet? No. And if you know how I'm going to do it, please don't spoil it for those who do not know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know, Ring Rush. I'm pretty
Give
sure
you a
Adam
hint.
knows.
He uses a camera.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. I do use a camera to take a picture of Cranky. There were a couple options that I had for taking a picture of Cranky. I'm only gonna bring up the one that I chose not to do because we've already passed it. If you wait like 40 seconds in the end sequence from when I quit out, you can actually get a pretty good picture of Cranky poking a sleeping DK with his cane in the end sequence. But that was also 40 seconds, so I chose not to do that.
Yeah.
I waited for Lanky to make an L with his arms there. These red Kremlings only appear in 2 places that I can think of. Right here in the piano, and in
I'm
Kremling
disappointed
Kosh.
about.
Hmm?
You didn't do FK.
Yeah, okay, so I thought about doing F key there, but I already made a TAS where I hit the F key, and by hitting the F key in this TAS, it
Oh
kind
my
of
God.
obsoletes the other TAS, and I didn't want to do that because of it.
How does it obsolete it?
Because, like, you get to see someone hit the F key. That's the whole point of the other TAS.
Alright.
Now, if you want an actual good explanation, it's because the lower keys, or I guess higher keys, maybe? D, E, and F, anyways. The
Maybe
ones in
I
the front
don't
row.
want to understand.
The ones in the front row, you can't get a very good picture of them because they're so close. So I had to
Yeah,
get
that's
one
fair.
in the back row, right? And A was just one of the easiest ones. I'm
Are the
excited.
animation
Oh.
lengths also different? I guess
Uh,
that's not important. Never mind.
what exactly do you mean by that?
For each note,
Oh,
like how long one stays out.
as far as I could tell, they were the same, or at least they were close enough that I didn't feel like frame testing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to make these good pictures wherever I could, because I didn't want to just, you know, take bad pictures for no reason. Like, half the joy of making this task was seeing what kind of pictures I could get out of the game, and really just appreciating the game in general. Because there's a lot of stuff that you don't really get to see when playing it regularly. Like, who is going to stand around and take a picture of a ruler, you know? It doesn't have eyes, but it can damage you.
Yeah.
Hey, Glorious. Those blocks, like, not the dice, but, you know, the blocks with the 1 on the front of them. I couldn't find if they spawned anywhere in the game. I don't think they do outside of Toy Monster here, so I didn't get a specific picture of them. But if they do exist somewhere, please let me know. I would love to know.
It's my favorite picture.
No problem, Glorious. I will be uploading everything to YouTube afterwards.
It's okay, because it's not the Kasplat that we take a picture of.
Correct. Believe it or not, it is actually slower for me to get that Kasplat than the other one that I have planned. You can think about that all you want. I don't think that you'll end up figuring out which one I'm gonna get. But who knows? You've surprised me a couple times already. I didn't want to go and say that any of the photos, like, counted for more than one thing. So I only took pictures of like single things, or whatever the thing was in the main focus of the picture, I suppose, is the thing that the photo counts towards. I'm glad you liked the Dogadon photo, Adam.
It's pretty good.
It was a pretty good photo. Outlaw actually asked me about it earlier, wondering why I chose that side of Dogadon. And although I still don't have a really good answer, I just wanted to see more of Dogadon's arm, because I thought it worked pretty well.
Oh, I guess one thing to mention. On Guard and Ramby. You should probably mention why you've taken pictures.
Yeah,
of...
I was just about to do that. There's a problem with Ramby and On Guard, and there might be a way to take a picture of them regularly, but I didn't know how to do it. I tried doing second person with them, but if there is a way, I couldn't figure out how. So I had to kind of settle for the murals of them. The On Guard mural here and
we'll
the
count
Ramby.
we'll count them as Pokemon signs.
Yeah, you can say that they're Pokemon signs. I hate having to go with it, believe me, I don't like it at all, but I didn't know how else to go and handle it without, like, you know, explicitly hacking something in. And I preferred to avoid hacks wherever possible. Right, well, okay, so the camera hack that I had access to, thanks to Isotarge, like, he went out of his way to design a camera hack for me. It didn't give me second person, it only gave me first person. So, unless there was...
figure out a way to change the perspective in order to get a picture of them.
Yeah, so I was kind of limited on tools and all that. Also, yeah, I didn't really mention it, but that was a clip that I had to find in order to make this work. I don't explicitly know if Diddy can go in phase fall through the backside into it. DK could, but very barely. Diddy, on the other hand, well, I had to look for something, and that clip was probably the most convenient. Mechfish, you're probably going to get mad at me for taking a picture of that. I was very torn on whether or not to actually take a picture of it. But ISO insisted that I should, and I'm kind of inclined to just agree with ISO. So I went and got a picture of it. Plus, a lot of people probably think that it's worse than a regular enemy anyways.
Not only that, this TAS introduced me to the fact that the starfish do in fact have eyes and a unibrow.
Yep. And you wouldn't go and look at them regularly.
No.
An interesting fact that I had no idea about until doing this task is that the submarine, the 5-door ship, well, certain sections of the 5-door ship, and the 2-door ship all have different enemies inside of them. In Lanky Diddy Chunky of 5-door ship, you have the Puffed Ups, the pufferfish. In DK Tiny, you have the regular starfish, the Shuri. And in the 2-door ship, you have the Whip Shuri. Other places that you could go to take these pictures are like, the Puffed Ups are around and inside of the submarine. The Shuris are around 5-door ship, and I think that that's the only place that you can find a Whip Shuri outside of bonus barrels.
They also have scuba gear, Ring Rush. So they're slightly upgraded for the harsh environment inside of a decrepit ship.
Yeah, so the way that I treated whip shuris and shuris was the same way as I treated green, purple, and red claptraps. They're all different, in my eyes at least. They are the
So
same species.
They've evolved to the point of being able to use a whip and scuba gear.
Different breeds. That's a good way of putting it. Magneton is 3 Magnemite, yeah? I think that answers a question that I just remembered I missed earlier. Sorry, Xcord. I do end up taking a picture of the red claptraps somehow. I wanted to include everything that I could. I have a fun fact about this next enemy. I'm gonna wait to say it. But, I didn't know about this until I was at this part. You can actually pull out your gun and shoot the clobber, this guy in the regular barrel there, and he'll float upwards a little bit. If you keep shooting him, you can make him go all the way up to the roof. I was considering taking a picture of that, but there was no way to keep him levitating for long enough that I could get a good picture. A button challenge? Does that help you? Yeah. I was like, he's in, what, Aztec, a couple of the 5-door temples, in the tiny temple, in there, obviously, and caves? Is the dead exploding barrel considered a different evolved thing? No, because it's just incinerated.
Yeah. It's kind of like Electrode in the second level of Pokemon Snap.
Oh yeah, because you can blow up the Electrode, right? And take a picture of it?
Yep.
Yeah, DK Puff Toss, you never ever see this. DK's jaw is pretty massive in that cutscene. Now, what might I be doing in here? This is a pretty strange place to go, right? All that we have here is Kremlings. And why would I do that? You might be asking.
Whoa!
So a few people clearly already knew this was coming. This was the only good way that I had to take a picture of Cranky. What happened there, well, I can't really speak to it on a technical level, but basically I died, I hit the Void Plane, and when it warped me out of the Battle Crown, it sent me to Cranky. And then when I voided out of Cranky, it sent me to Japes Underground. And because of that, we can just skip the Isles overworld travel to go straight to Japes from there. Also, that is invisible film. That's probably my favorite film pickup in the game. Yeah, it's definitely one of the more bizarre things in the game. I figured that Cranky... I don't want to call it a wrong warp, but that Cranky warp, I guess, is probably one of the things people knew the least about, or were not really aware of. So I wanted to make sure to include it. Ring Rush has a pretty good
0,
explanation,
wow.
apparently. That's fine. That picture was a fairy picture. It wasn't meant to be good. It just, I needed the
Still,
film.
I said on a scale of 1 to 10. I never included 0.
So, Wrinkly. I did
It was
a...
my contribution.
Yeah, that was entirely Outlaw's contribution. What happened was, I hadn't actually taken a picture of Wrinkly. And when we did a run-through of it the other day, Outlaw was like, "Did you take a picture of Wrinkly?" And... yeah, I hadn't. So guess what? That footage of Wrinkly was recorded yesterday and spliced in afterwards. Because of that, the film count is going to be off by 1. I still have enough film. I don't run out of film anywhere.
Yeah, that is why it is not console verified.
It's not the only reason why.
It's the main, like, thing holding it back, though.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's true. I could have done B-Locker cheats somewhere. Speaking of cheats... this red claptrap spawner does exist regularly. It's just inactive. So I had to go and hack in that red claptrap. Thanks to Balam, I figured out how. And that allowed me to get that picture. My only other options were a couple of the intro cutscenes for, I think, Galleon and Castle. But I couldn't figure out a way to go and get those pictures without hacking. And I would rather get a hack in the game rather than in a cutscene, I guess, if that makes sense. Yeah, I definitely could have gotten the camera in the intro story cutscene. It was just a preference, I suppose. I'd rather get in the game. Get it in the game. Also, that coin, I missed that coin because that was a desync. That was not my fault. I grabbed that coin originally. I only noticed it was a desync after I got out of this area, because that beetle picture still turned out the same. Didn't have a console? I have a console. It's right here. It has my EverDrive in it. A lolling tomato.
Okay, so Ring Rush agrees with me. That is a tomato.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has ever said it's not a tomato.
Well, we were talking about it the other day, and I was just like, is it a tomato? Because I didn't bother turning on my console to actually go and look at it.
Right, that's fair. Oh, this picture was a pain in the ass to get. I couldn't use DK, because by the time you get the camera out with DK, you've lost way too much height. You have to take that picture as Chunky because he descends slower than DK does. The other option was to wait for like a minute after Fungi shows up in the end sequence and take a picture of Scoff there. But again, I would rather not drop the 60 seconds where I can only get like a photo or two when I can just do it in-game. You could go and feed him too. I chose not to, but you definitely could. Thank you.
Could you have skid jumped near Scoff to get like Trough photobombing him in the background, or no?
Not. I could have done it, but I would have gotten the back of Scoff's head, and even then you would barely notice Trough. No, I do not photograph the follow-friendly animals in this run. I do, however, let this one die. He may not follow you, though. And he's not that friendly on VC, from what I hear. There's the Pester Orange. It was not on a regular Kosha, though. It was on the giant Kosha.
Okay.
For the sake of this run, I did count the giant Kosha and the Kosha as different entities, only because the giant Kosha has bearing on regular gameplay that the Kosha does not. In that, you know, the stalactites fall from the ceiling if you don't kill the giant Kosha.
It's a mystery gift, Kosha, because it has Rock Slide, and Kosha doesn't normally learn that.
Just Dynamaxed? Oh my god. Oh, you'll notice that the music is gone. We're doing ISG again. What could we possibly do with ISG at this point, you might ask? We've gone pretty much everywhere, right? So what is there left?
There are still memes left.
There are indeed memes left.
Also, TJ has a problem with that film location.
I don't have a problem with that film location! I love that film! What are you saying?
Mm-hmm.
I like that film. I promise I like that film. I like that film almost as much as I like the 5 film in Training Grounds. That's how much I like that film.
Also, shoutouts to Fungi Lobby for reminding me that Wrinkly exists.
Yup. I'm glad you understand how I feel, Ringrush. Yeah, looks like everybody is figuring that out. I will be using ISG in the minecart. I also know that somebody's going to bring this up. This is a secondary picture of Clump. I already took one in intro story credits, but I figured I might as well get a singular picture of Clump as well, just because I'm here and I have time to burn. And that is the final Pester Orange. These Mushroom Man dudes are not easy to get a good picture of at all. You have to be pretty close to them, and even then, you can't get like a full body shot or anything. You normally just get their like upper face, if you can call it that. Additionally, their unique animation where they fall down after chasing you for a bit isn't very good to get a picture of either, in my experience. So I just went with the orange kill there instead. Also, yeah, this is where I use ISG. I wrong cutscened here so that I had full control of Chunky, charged a shockwave, and we're gonna see what happens very soon. We now have control of Chunky in the minecart. But there's a problem with this. Taking one picture is okay, But if you let that picture disappear off screen, the game will crash. So I can't actually stay in there. I have to quit out of there, otherwise the game will just decide to die on me. And at this point, like, it won't crash if you keep spamming photos. I must have been doing something wrong then, because I tried doing that, and it decided to crash on me. I'll go back and give that another shot, though. Because, yeah, maybe I just messed something up. Regardless, there isn't a secondary... There's no second thing for me to take a picture of unless you include the TNT barrel, which I decided not to. Hey, Balam, morning. Yeah, Pokemon Snap on rails. I enjoyed that part.
We're back to vanilla.
So that was the final fade out that I just cancelled there. So ISG, although we're still going to be suffering the audio effects of it, it is no longer going to tamper with us when in cutscenes and such. So now I can just go about my day, activate cutscenes as necessary, and I won't get pulled into the intro story. I had to die there to go and call the cutscene that intro story wanted to call. And then I entered a loading zone to apply that cutscene to the next map, which was this room. Which is why we saw that the cutscene right when I entered, where the big spider was dropping down, even though he shouldn't have been dropping down yet. Now, all the DK runners probably know what's coming up. I wouldn't grab a keg for no reason. Please don't spoil it. Also, shoutouts to Xcord for his video on how to do this.
And we're going to take a brief 5-minute intermission.
Yep, we're gonna be here for 5 minutes. I'm just stuck in the tag barrel now. What this does is it allows me to get a picture of Snide, who you can't take a picture of otherwise. If you have to go to the bathroom, go for it. Now's the right time.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting to use too, Znern. Yeah, this will be done in the next 20 minutes for sure.
If I could ever find a way to replicate that, Glorious, that would be in this run. I would make TJ do it.
Yeah, thank goodness for the tag barrel
Because
kick-out timer.
Black Hat Diddy is a sentient being.
This is true. I guess the other option was, what, get 40 blueprints, and there's something that you can do with that to go and get the... What's that banana even called? The Snide's banana that doesn't count towards anything? It had a name, and it escapes me right now. It's not Phantom Banana. Well, anyways, there's a GB that normally falls from the sky when you turn in blueprints. You can grab that GB by doing this trick as well. And it does not increment your golden banana counter. 0 value banana, yeah. I don't know, see, I feel like Hipster had a name for it, but I just don't remember what it was now.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
Oh well. Yeah, exactly. Hipster did RTA runs of getting that GB before, which is why I know it has a name. I just can't remember what it is.
All I know is it's a counterfeit banana.
True, it is kind of a counterfeit banana. Maybe I'm just thinking of like fake GB or something like that, but I don't know.
That was too much in line with fake bean.
Right? But it could also just be fake GB because of that, right? We use fake for quite a few things in this game. Whether it's fake helm, fake bean, fake key, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's fair enough.
Yeah, like, I could see it being called fake GB. Fake production room, I forgot about that one. Yeah, all 40 blueprints. It was a pretty massive difference when this trick was found. Sorry, Outlaw, I cut you off.
Oh, you're fine. I was just going to mention it's 8:01 for Central Time viewers. It's now 8:02, though. So thank you for interrupting me.
I already got a picture of the rabbit in 5-door igloo. But other than that, I think you're correct, Ring Rush. Also purple claptrap. And, for those who remember, we haven't gotten the Kasplat yet. What fungi Kasplat could I possibly take a picture of?
5 minutes is a long time.
It is a long time. I wish that we didn't have to sit through this, but I also didn't want to fast forward through this, you know?
Oh, it's a good lesson for everybody.
Yeah.
They're learning a bit here.
Mm-hmm. That's
Not
very
everybody
true.
knows that Tag Barrel will eventually throw you out.
I did not get a picture of the cuckoo bird. You can blame me for forgetting that one or not. It's up to you, kinda. But the way that it's currently documented in Script Talk is that it's a cutscene object rather than like an entity itself. So because of that, I didn't actually include it when I was compiling my initial list of unique things that are in this game, as far as characters go. That being said, if you did want to take a picture of it, you totally can. You would probably need to shoot night switch, day switch, and then night switch again. And on the second night switch hit, there is no cutscene, right? The second time that you activate something, there's no cutscene. So you have free reign to pull out camera at that point. That picture, that took me a little while to get. I had to walk right before that bat would come down just because I wanted to manipulate it such that I got the moon in the background of the picture. Yes, that was probably pointless for me to spend time on, but it also looked pretty good in comparison to just regular bland background. You could say it's a Zubat in the tunnel reference. It wasn't intentional, but you could totally say it was. I get TBS so that I can grab that film and warp right back to the tag barrel there. There are very few film pickups in the open fungi area here, so I had to make use of whatever I had access to. There's the sleeping owl. And I get
And
this
here's our
Kasplat.
boy Kasplat.
The only reason this Kasplat was faster was because I could fall down to it while I was taking a picture of the owl. That's the only reason it was faster. Really? I kind of liked the Kasplat picture. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it kind of looked like he was taking a selfie.
Yeah. I thought,
That was
like,
on his Snap story.
yeah, I hadn't gotten many close-up shots, so I thought it was interesting compared to everything else that I had gotten. And I'm able to grab the bean there, as well as kick off the platform, which lets me skip most of that banana spawning cutscene. Oak doesn't like close-ups. That's totally fair. I'm not taking a picture of the bean, I'm getting a picture of the bean stalk. Cantonian tomato. When I showed this task to ISO originally, he had actually forgotten that the worm exists, so he was freaking out about the worm, which was pretty funny.
Oh my god.
Well, the bean doesn't have eyes or anything. It just turns into the beanstalk, which does have eyes, so I figured it was
No.
reasonable.
Turns into the final boss.
And that's it. That's not an exact time, but yeah, there you go. That is the TAS.